All right, this is OneLastMidnight. Welcome back to another episode of Valheim. Today we're going to look at basic buildings and how to make them, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. From your basic generic standard lean-to moderate-sized buildings of various shapes and sizes, and even large megastructures, Valheim offers a variety of building and decorating styles. Something you can really sink your teeth into and have fun with. In this video, I'm going to cover basic structures and how to get started building inside of Valheim. But first, let's talk about wood. Wood is absolutely necessary to build your house, and a single beech tree produces a giant log that can be broken into two, and then each half will produce 10 wood. So one single beech tree will provide you with 20 wood. This is good to know because when you're trying to start building, you need to know how much resources you can get and how much resources it will take to build specific items. In order to make any house in the game, one that has a bed that you can sleep in, you're going to need three things. This is constant. You will always need these three things. You're going to need a workbench, you're going to need a bed, and you're going to need a fire pit. Those three items will cost you 20 wood and 5 stone. So 1 beech tree and 5 stone to produce these three items. Now you can't sleep out in the open. Matter of fact, if you try to, it says the bed needs a roof. I highly recommend before building any building that you cut down at least 2 trees so that you have 40 wood. But some of these basic structures that I'm about to show you take very minimal amount of wood. The cheapest structure that will provide cover for your house is the following. 2 half wood slabs and 2 26-degree thatch roofing. Attach those directly to the half slab walls. Place your bed underneath and place a fire pit down close to it. And you will not only be able to claim your bed, but you'll be able to sleep in your bed. This is a covered point. When you can claim your bed, you know that it's covered and you can sleep in it. This is the least expensive structure that you can make. It takes only 8 wood. 2 wood per half slab, 2 wood per thatch roofing. Throughout the world, you'll find a lot of this next example. This is also another example of a lean-to. Place down 1 2-meter wood pole, followed by a 26-degree wood beam, and attach it to the back side of the pole. And a second one to the first wood beam that you put down. Add in 4 pieces of 26-degree thatch roofing, followed by another 2-meter wood beam and 2 more 26-degree wood beams. And place your bed underneath. You'll see this structure all over the place. Typically, they don't use these wooden beams. You'll see them built with the log poles instead of the wooden beams. And you'll also see a beam going across this way to be able to support it. But it's unnecessary. You don't need it. It's just for visuals. Now, this little lean-to structure looks a lot better than this lean-to structure. But the second lean-to structure I showed you will cost you 20 wood. Ultimately, I don't know that it's worth it, considering that you can just do a simple one like this. But if you want something that looks a little bit better, you can do a lean-to with this style. The next structure I'm going to show you is a simple enclosed structure. So place down a wood floor 2x2, followed by 2 more wood floors 2x2 right next to it for 3 in widthwise. And then place down another 3 2x2 wood floors for 4 lengthwise. Fill in each one of those wood floor pieces, followed by half slab walls on each side of the building. Attach a half wood wall slab to both sides, leaving a hole in the middle for your doors. Attach a 45-degree wood wall with the slant facing outward on all sides of the building. Place a 45-degree wood roof cross on top of the beams to form yourself a peak. Then place down a thatch roof ridge 45 degrees down the middle of your building. and finish it off with thatch roofing of 45 degrees to cover the enclosure. Finally, finish off your structure with either a small wood door, which looks nice, and in an additional half slab for the rest of the wall. Or you could place down a wood gate piece, which looks even better, and have yourself a nice big door. This structure is large enough to be able to hold a workbench, and it's able to house several beds in case you're playing multiplayer, as well as be able to store a couple of chests. Be sure to set your fire near where your beds are residing inside of your little house. And that way you should be able to claim your beds and sleep and be close to a fire. And this is a nice little starter shelter, and it doesn't take too long to build. The downside to this building is that your fire is outside. Now you could put a fire inside of this house so that you can have warmth all the time. In order to do that, you would need to get rid of one of the floor pieces and expose dirt underneath, and then you can place your fire down. Now the problem with a fire inside of a building is that you will actually start generating smoke. Now luckily smoke is going outside of this building through this little crack right here, but it will start accumulating, and this might not be good enough to save you from smoke inhalation. And yes, there is smoke inhalation in the game. You wind up taking damage from it. You can see that it's already starting to accumulate along the top of the roof. We might be lucky because these two holes might be enough ventilation, but I have a feeling over time this is going to fill up pretty badly. The other way to solve that problem is to give yourself some sort of chimney, and the easiest way to do that was just to knock out the thatch roofing. And then what you can do is you can build some little scenario here of a chimney with the half slabs, and then give yourself some little angle piece up here so that you can put yourself a little thatch roofing on here. But you will need to make some sort of chimney in order to ventilate out the smoke so that you don't die. And then also to keep your fire going during storms. Right, so the important thing is that your fire goes during the storm so that you can dry off, and then you can also sleep in the evening time if it happens to be raining. A variation on the house that we just did with slightly larger walls, instead of using the half slab walls for the bottom piece, you can use a full slab wall, and it just gives you a little bit higher room. I mean, you know, it's the same building. The only difference, like I said, is that we replace the half slab walls with the full wall, and that's just going to cause your building to be slightly higher. You're going to wind up using a couple more roof tiles instead of one roof tile from the angled roof up here. You're going to use two roof tiles to cover the side of your wall, or to cover the side of your roof, giving you something like this. Ultimately, it'll cost you just slightly more wood to be able to build this. Now, instead of being, you know, in your total of like 70s, you're in your total of 90s to almost into 100 pieces of wood. But it gives you a slightly different design, right? It's just a little bit bigger. It doesn't give you any more ground space. Matter of fact, if you look at the first one, you know, the footprint is exactly the same. So when you go inside, it is the exact same footprint, but it does make it feel bigger with the vaulted ceilings. So, you know, the camera angle doesn't look so crunched, and you don't feel like you're so claustrophobic, but ultimately it's the same size. All right, well, that's it for basic housing. We looked at two lean-to styles that are quick to build. So when you're out and about and you just want to make yourself a temporary base, at least some place for a spawning point or some place to sleep during the evening time, either one of these lean-tos are efficient and they'll work just fine. If you want a slightly bigger little base location, or even just a starter house, you can look at building one of these two simple designs, and that'll get you started and get you going with the workbench on the inside so that you can repair your items, and also a fire on the inside so you can sleep during storms and not have to worry about getting wet. In another video, we'll look at more advanced designs. Eventually, I'll teach you guys how to build something like this, which is just a absolute massive structure. It takes a little bit of understanding on how to place your ground and, you know, essentially building stability. This took a lot of time to build, but you can definitely do big structures and big buildings. Excuse the scaffolding in the distance because I'm still tweaking some things on the inside. And in a completely different video, we'll look at how to set up decorations to make your house look really cool and warm and inviting. Something that you'd be proud to show off to your friends. All right, well, that's it for me. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you in the community. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find the links in the description below. And make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when I go live and when I post new videos. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.